Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 2021 Honor Awards. It's time to begin, so grab a drink, have a seat, and join me in welcoming our hosts, Tom DiRenzo and Brian Graham.
Okay, well, welcome everyone. Welcome again to this, I believe, will be the 18th Honor Awards for our chapter. And I get to do it again with the ever fabulous, ever talented Brian Graham. And yes, I know we
Thank
all
you,
wanted to be
Tom.
back. Thank you, Brian. We all wanted to be back at the Fox, but we're not. And I think the thing we learned from this last year is you just adapt to the situation as it is and go forward with it. So, Brian, what are your thoughts about that?
Well, I think that we've all learned that tomorrow's not promised, and we have to grab life while we can and live it to our fullest. And I'm absolutely all about agility and flexibility. Just look at my wife. She's an amazing yoga practitioner. And when I watch her do that, I think to myself, I should do more of that. That's a good idea.
Brian, you've said something to me in the past, you rascal, about design and about what you think design is inherently. And please, would you pass that little bon mot on to our guests today? Because it's really
Yes.
important for us to keep this in mind.
Sure, sure. Well, I think inherently design is an optimistic act, right? Everything that we do is about thinking that we can make the world better, our workplaces better, our homes better, our communities better. And so that constant striving for improvement is so important. And I think that's really the mission of the design community, and especially what our IIDA chapter has done so well.
Yes, I'm very proud of our chapter indeed.
Yeah.
And I think it also explains at heart why you are, everything else aside, a truly great designer, Brian. So not like right now, I'm going to do a plug for Martin Bradroot and his new table that he just did, but that's something else that we can say for a different time. I don't think that they were a sponsor this year, so we won't mention.
Yeah, I don't know where they fall on the metallurgy realm here, but yeah.
Something tin, or they're good people nonetheless. And it's a beautiful table. Okay, now with that said, let's go on to something else here. There's a woman that Brian and I love very much, but then a lot of people love very, very much. And no matter where she may be, even though she may be based in Chicago as the executive vice president and CEO of the IIDA, she's still very, very much a part of our community. I get to now introduce the very wonderful Cheryl Durst.
How do you celebrate, acknowledge, appropriately commemorate a life well lived? Art Gensler is, because past tense makes no sense here, Art Gensler is and always will be a most essential part of the San Francisco design community. But he also belongs to the global, worldwide design community as well. There's not a single one of us whose life, whose work, whose consideration of the profession of design has not been affected or amplified or validated by him. His legacy redefines design excellence, and our memories of him defy any sort of ending. Art lives on in the firm that bears his name, in the talent he nurtured, in the profession of commercial interior design that he pioneered, in the IIDA he mentored and helped create, in the clients whose work and brands were understood and enhanced, and in the family he and his wife Drew cherished, and in every single one of us whose lives and work he touched. We honor the memory, the legacy, and the well-lived life of M. Arthur Gensler, who indeed changed our world. Godspeed, my friend. Rest in peace and power, always.
When you think of style, grace under pressure, and impeccable taste, you think of our chapter president, Yoko Ishihara.
Thank you, Brian. It has been a privilege for me to serve as a chapter president this past year. It goes without saying that we have had a year like no other, and I'm so proud to be part of this amazing chapter during this unique time. First, I'd like to thank our outgoing board. Some people who attend our events may not realize that this isn't an organization run solely by volunteers. I'd like to personally thank all the board and committee members for their continued dedication over the last year. I'd also like to extend a special gratitude to our past president, Lisa Bottom. It has been a challenging year, and this team has done an incredible job. Thank you. And please join me in welcoming our incoming board. I'm so excited to pass the baton to Varda, our next president. I enjoyed so much to get to know her and to work with her during this past year. Her creative mindset and dedication to our industry is beyond inspiring. I'm also happy to report that Yana Ronin is stepping in as president-elect. She's going to be wonderful. There's so much to look forward to in the upcoming year with this amazing team, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone in person very soon.
Each year, the IIDA Northern California chapter presents academic design awards to interior design students whose work represents the best of our student community. We are thrilled to announce the winners. First award is $1,000 award. Winner of this award is Lily Fangling Yao, California College of the Arts. Project, A Continuous Conversation. This is a boutique design on which the designer collaborated with a fashion design student and developed a boutique experience on the site at 1445 Valencia Street in San Francisco. The design challenge is to build a shopping and working experience for the future and to correspond to the designer's line. The future of fashion will rely more on technology to improve the formal shopping experience so as to be more virtual and to use technology to further enhance comfort when shopping and trying on the garment. Moreover, engaging all people to participate in social activities while trying on garments with a revolving closet system that delivers garments they want in handy distance according to their height of reach. Setting different themes by projection, lighting, and sound for them to expect how future experiences may manifest themselves with the garment they are wearing. Meanwhile, new memories are created along with the experience. With the help of technology, different people should have equal convenience in their activity of shopping. The secondhand fabric was collected to rework and expand its life for another cycle of use. Basic base colors like white and gray respond and give opportunities for being backgrounds of AR, and also emphasize the potential of reused garments. Projection is an element that can project images, garments, and textures on surfaces. Technologies in the boutique aim to provide an accessible environment for all people to have a conversation with recycled garments, human activities, and future shopping experiences. Congratulations, Lily. The next award is a $2,500 award. The winner of this award is Soumya Jain, Academy of Art, Project Hotel Florissime. Hotel Florissime is a boutique hotel located in downtown Oakland, California. The client aims to open the hotel in the post-pandemic world to welcome business guests in an extended stay model hotel. In the past year, people across the globe had found their lives fundamentally impacted by the pandemic. As lockdowns were imposed and we were forced to stay in our homes, it seemed like once-in-a-lifetime chance to not have to drive to work or to even get out of bed initially. However, it soon started to feel like we were stuck in a time loop repeating the same day over and over again. The extended stay hotel will be second home to the business guests. Spaces will connect with the surroundings by allowing regulation of interior conditions as per the external conditions to minimize the feelings of being cut off. The hotel is reactive IIDA to the restrictions of the pandemic, a space that bridges the indoors with the outdoors. It provides flexibility to its occupants and adapts and evolves according to their need and desire to completely eliminate the feelings of entrampment of the pandemic world. As people crave the lost spontaneity in the post-pandemic world, Hotel Florissant emerges as a reaction to the adverse effects of the past year. It connects the users to their surroundings by adapting and evolving to their changing needs and desires. The space is responsive and constructs around its inhabitants while providing them with flexibility for modification. The space functions as a reflection of the ever-changing nature, like flowers that blossom and close up as a response to their surroundings. The hotel provides a sense of dynamism and transformation. Congratulations, Somya. And finally, the first place is $3,500 award. The winner of this award is Jocelyn Cruz, Academy of Art, Project Pacific Northwest Multicultural Community Center. In recent years, there has been a large increase in refugees fleeing their home country and seeking safety and freedom in the United States. International Rescue, IR, is a national nonprofit charity specializing in providing refugees with housing and social services in order to help them settle into their new environment and new lives. IR is building this new refugee center in Portland, Oregon, a sanctuary state with ethnic and cultural diversity. The refugee center is intended to welcome their new refugees from Central America and provide them with a safe space for social services, education, job training, and community connection as their journey towards self-sufficiency and a new life in America. Inspired by the primordial feeling of protection and shelter that a nest provides for the young, this shelter will seek to create a safe transitional environment for children and their families to continue their life path. With natural and handmade materials, the designers seek to create healing spaces that would help children overcome trauma. Through educational and play spaces, children will feel embraced and protected, giving them the possibility of reconnecting with nature, with the community, and with themselves. Big congratulations to Jocelyn Cruz. Every 2 years, IIDA Northern California chapter honors an exceptional individual who had contributed tremendously to our chapter effort and to our community. I'm honored and privileged to introduce our chapter honoree, Tom DiRenzo. He has been one of the most gracious, kind, giving members of our community for years. I have known Tom for decades, and to me, he's an individual we all admire and look up to. I want to recognize his passion for guiding and elevating the next generations of our profession. He's humble, funny, and constantly striving to learn from everyone around him. These attributes make him one of the most respected and beloved members of our community. In many ways, Tom was the glue that kept our community together during these most recent challenging times, whether it be through casual Zoom brainstorming gatherings with designers or with his incredibly inspiring and witty bi-weekly Tomcast newsletters. His spirit is always bright and guiding lights for others. In addition to being the gracious host of the Honor Awards for numerous years, his involvement in the community and giving back goes way beyond IIDA. He always helps put a smile on our faces with his creativity, humor, and kindness. For that, we are eternally grateful. Please join me in presenting one and only Tom DiRenzo with the Northern California Chapter Honorary Award.
Well, I have to say thank you, and I have to say I was a bit surprised by this, and very honored indeed. I always say that it's not a matter of what you're given, but what you do with it. So I will thank you very much for this wonderful honor, and also start thinking, what can I do to help others with it? If it's a matter of sending out messages to people that make them feel better and more aware and more creative, there are other ways to do that. I think there's a lot we can do with the students around us. There's a lot we can do to encourage what design can be to a lot of people, to a wider range of people than we've had in the past. So I think that's going to be part of my focus in the coming year. But other than that, thank you all very, very, very much. I'm very touched and honored by that.
My name is Lisa Bottom. I've known Tom since the late 1980s, and I met him through his husband, Andrew Belshner, when Andrew and I were both involved with DIFA. I've always admired the ways that Tom gives back to the community in San Francisco, especially through his participation in the San Francisco AIDS Foundation AIDS Ride, as well as participating as a volunteer in the Suicide Prevention Hotline.
Hi there, it's Colin Burry. Greetings from the Royal Crescent in Bath, England. We're here today to celebrate the one and the only, one of the royals of San Francisco design, Mr. Tom DiRenzo. So only fitting, it seemed to me, to be doing this video here at the Royal Crescent for the royal Mr. Tom DiRenzo. We are so delighted to be honoring you, Tom. You have been, I think I'm supposed to say, where I met you. So, if I remember correctly, it was actually the illustrious Lisa Bottom who introduced us, of course, And here we are 25 years later. I consider you a dear friend and a confidant and, just an amazing, amazing man, mentor, etc. You have been such an instrumental part of the design community in San Francisco for a good chunk of your life. I mean, you are really, I don't know what the gay version is, but at the grand dame of, design society in San Francisco. You're a walking encyclopedia of everything that there is to know about design history in San Francisco. You've also been an amazing supporter of the IIDA. I remember, actually one of the first experiences I had with you was when we were creating, David Meckley asked us to create the Honor Awards. And it was myself, Louis, Dominique Sorbica, Michelle Wempe, and yourself that met. I remember we were meeting in SOM's offices, on, I think weekly or whatever, sort of designing what the awards would be. And, you were amazing, your contributions, your creativity, etc. And then here you are many years later, always being, the one to sort of stand up and do an amazing job of hosting the Honor Awards every year. It wouldn't be the Honor Awards without you, Tom. You've also, you've had different board positions and have been involved, no matter what. And anytime anybody needs anything, we call you, and you always step up. So I just want you to know how much we appreciate you, Tom. You are really, really a special, amazing person. There's nobody like you in the world. I've learned so much from you. You're an inspiration. We all love the Tomcasts that come out on occasion, especially during these times of COVID, and they're sort of a light in our time. So anyways, thank you so much for everything that you've done. I wish you the best. Hello and love and kisses to Andrew. Be well and enjoy this special day.
Hi, my name is Sean McLean-Burgell. I'm excited to have this opportunity today to talk to you about my good friend Tom. Many of you may or may not know this, but Tom is actually our industry's guardian angel. While he is well known in his own right, behind the scenes, Tom has coached and mentored generations of designers through countless hard decisions. Congratulations, Tom. Well deserved.
I'm Jeffrey Weissman. I've known Tom for 40 years. I've met thousands of people in this industry since then, and not one comes close to his level of enthusiasm, positivity, curiosity. He's unbelievable. I don't know how he does it. I'm delighted you're honoring him today and send all my congratulations.
I'm Kelly Dubussar. I met Tom at a CRI holiday party, I think about a year before I moved to San Francisco. He was then, as he is now, amazing, absolutely charming, and refreshingly honest. He is an absolute treasure, and he is the heart and soul of our design community. I love you, Tom.
My name is Tana Hall, and I met Tom at Glide Memorial serving meals to the homeless. I saw him across the room, and he had this intense curiosity for people, and I said, I have got to go over and meet this person. He is special. I want to thank Tom for the Tomcast, and I never thought I would be thanking someone for sending me another email, but the Tomcast wraps up the NorCal community, and it says things are serious, but we need to laugh, and design can make things a whole lot better. So Tom, you are such an important person in this industry, an important human being on this planet. I love you.
Hi everyone, I'm Natalie Ingalls, and no surprise, I know Tom through IIDA. Tom has always been welcoming and encouraging. He is inspirational for so many of us, but mostly he is a role model for the spirit of togetherness that we celebrate in this design community.
Tom, I can think of no one more deserving than you to receive this award tonight. You've always involved yourself earnestly in all industry events, but most especially honor awards, and we certainly hope that you'll continue to do so for years to come. So tonight, we salute you.
There's no one quite like Tom Dorenzo. Your ability to listen, guide, and contribute, all the while being fun and entertaining, is truly astonishing. You've made such an impact on me, both personally and professionally, and I've really enjoyed bonding over our mutual love for Ralph Lauren. Congrats, Tom. You are a true style icon.
Bill Watson here. Hey, Tommy, I've been given 20 seconds to say how we know each other and what you have done for the NorCal IIDA. I really need 2 hours. Anyway, thank you for the work that you've done with CRI and branding us with the A&D community, and also on a broader scale with what you've done with the IIDA. You are a treasure and a dear friend, and any recognition that you are able to get, you so richly deserve. We love you, and I'm also glad that I didn't need to get that dirty knife out of the kitchen years ago. That's an inside story. Bye-bye.
And now please welcome the incoming chapter president, the charming and multi-talented Verda Alexander.
We were so hoping this could be live, and we are so close. Crossing fingers next year, we will be back at the Fox. So I'm excited to start my term in a few weeks as president of the very best IIDA chapter. I want to thank Yoko and Lisa for all of your support and guidance thus far. I also want to give a shout out to the hardest working and most dedicated board and volunteers I've ever seen. All here will agree with me that this is an amazing community, so generous in so many ways. I'm looking forward to giving back to IIDA and this community that has given me so much over the years. So I'm supposed to, in 2 minutes, talk about my vision for my term. And I know this is a party and a celebration, but there's no time to waste. I believe the climate and social crisis that we're in is the most pressing issue affecting us and humanity. My vision is that there will be a future, a bright and beautiful one, where we care for each other and our communities and our world. This is what I'm personally most passionate about and dedicating the rest of my career to. As designers, there's a lot we can do. We need to start by changing the way we design. And honestly, we need to be changing everything about everything. But let's start with what we can change and go from there. This year, as incoming president, I worked hard with the Honors Award Committee to add 4 additional criteria that address the environment, the community, and giving back. They were a little buried in the application, and I plan to get them front and center next year. So if you've not seen these, please reach out and I'd be happy to personally share those with you. My hope is that they will be a challenge to us all. I can't wait to see the winners. I haven't yet. I don't know who they are. Mum's the word. Tom is super serious about this, and he keeps those envelopes sealed until the very last minute. Okay, now this is groundbreaking. I'm excited to say that our chapter board unanimously voted to support a couple of Senate bills on building decarbonization. I'm working with the advocacy team closely to follow these bills and see where else we can use our leverage to support important climate policy. This, I believe, is where we can affect the most change. The advocacy team will also be ramping up our drive to strengthen the interior design profession. Along with Southern California, we will be seeking advocates in every district willing to forge a relationship with their representative. Stay tuned. I plan to dovetail these efforts with the initiatives that Yoko started this past year in diversity, equity, and inclusion. Finally, a climate action working group is getting off the ground, and we have a lot planned. The honors team, led by Bailey Morning Alvarado and Carmen Havesi, worked hard to put this together. We want to say a special thank you to Principal Builders, who has been our major event sponsor year after year. Here is a short film highlighting their commitment to our community.
In 2003, Principal Builders was founded with a simple mission: build cool stuff and have fun doing it. And for the last 18 years, our close-knit team, which really feels like a family, has been lucky to get to do exactly that.
We have had the opportunity to be awarded some of the coolest projects, to work alongside brilliant and creative minds, and to make dream spaces become a reality.
But we haven't just built spaces. We've made something else: lasting, truly memorable connections. Not just within our team and our clients, but with you, our peers.
From team happy hours, workout classes, picnics in the park.
Fun and joy are our core values here. See, we know that people make the place.
Fundamental belief that this community we have built together is our greatest resource to support our neighbors and the broader community that we inhabit.
Hand in hand with your help, Principal Builders has rebuilt community gardens, provided toys to families in need,
Created hygiene kits for the homeless, forwarded organizations like the Boys and Girls Club,
and helped raise awareness for Best Buddies by joining their friendship walk in Golden Gate Park.
We show we care by doing.
While the last 15 months has changed the look of our team's usual activities, we continue to take on the things we could.
We looked outward to our community, but we also had to look inward more than ever.
We met on Zoom as the rest of the world did.
Shared recipes, saw each other's living rooms, bedrooms, children, and dogs in lap.
Babies were born. We met them on Zoom.
We made cocktails together, prepared meals on video, and even took those workout classes we've always done and did them remotely.
Very importantly, we continue to support and lend a hand whenever possible.
When the time came, we still got to build some cool stuff and had fun doing it.
What we faced as a company, an industry, and a community won't soon be forgotten.
But we've learned a lot and are reassured that what was important before is still the most important.
The people who make our lives matter. If we can get through a pandemic,
we can get through anything.
You can count on that.
Okay, does everyone have their cocktail handy? You better. All right, this is my special lemon martini. Cheers.
And now, the Honor Awards. We had a great jury again this year. All, of course, are from out of our chapter territory, and their judging was done blind, which means that the name of the design firm is hidden from them, and the project is judged strictly on its merits. And this year we had a total of 88 entries, which was not too bad for the total upheaval of 2020. Our judges were Karen Taylor, Principal, Director of Interior Design with Quorum out of Fort Worth, Texas. Nancy Keating, Partner, Felderman Keating and Associates in Culver City. Steve Erickson, Principal, Saba Architects in Seattle. Stephen South, Design Director, Senior Associate at Spectre Group in New York. And Maya Bird Murphy, Founder and Executive Director of the Chicago Mobile Makers in Chicago.
Wonderful. This year was as tough as any, considering that we had what we lived through last year. The judges really had a hard time, and you're going to find that yourself a bit surprised by some of the things that they came up with and the way that they awarded the awards.
This year we have a one-time only award to reflect the very trying times in which we live. It is called the Lemonade Award, as in when life gives you a lemon. Usually I make a gin and tonic. But in this case, I think you know what we mean. This one-time award is for anything your firm did to help your community, keep your spirits up, keep the open sign on your door, absolutely anything. Creativity takes many forms in addition to what we do to create great working and living environments. So this award is not necessarily about any interiors project you designed. It's really just about what you did to get through. It touches on anything acknowledging our common humanity. If that's happened, then it qualified for the Lemonade Award. So we had 11 entries in this new category, and the judges had a really hard time picking just one. So, in the best spirit of showing our best spirit, the judges wrestled with and had to give it to 3 of the entrants. The first Lemonade Award goes to O+A for Artist Workshop. Prior to shelter in place in March of 2020, the firm was set to host a staff product fair. The idea was that we would invite members in our community and the general public to partake in this one-of-a-kind event that would share people's unique talents and interests. Of course, when it was clear the pandemic would have a longer lasting effect than we had initially predicted, we had to do what we do best: adapt. One of the co-founders saw an opportunity and suggested we turn the fair into a virtual artist workshop series that would not just recognize the individuals, but others. So we've now had 9 different workshops ranging from topics on painting and drawing to baking, yoga, and making hand-dyed fabrics. The diverse talents of the staff and their ability to turn lemons into lemonade really brought the firm together in a positive and enriching way. Not only were we exposed to new topics, but we found that much sought after human connection. The second Lemonade Award goes to API for ID4Me. ID4Me, Interior Design for Me, is an after-school program with the goal of diversifying the interior design profession specifically towards communities of color by sharing knowledge and expertise about the practice of interior design as a career option for young students. Like many programs within K-12 schools, we know that the creative fields are often the first to lose funding. And as such, the exposure to opportunities in our field is rare and even more so for communities of color from disadvantaged regions. This is happening with students in the lower grades and particularly in high school, when students are beginning to formulate their ideas and desires around career choices. The third Lemonade Award goes to O+A for Toolkit for the Times. When in March of last year, Bay Area officials became the first in the country to institute a stay-at-home order in response to COVID-19, our studio quickly put together a team of researchers, designers, and communicators to assess the pandemic's impact on work environments and devise a strategy for moving forward. A toolkit of the times is a comprehensive analysis of how work environments must change to meet the challenges of a pre-vaccine economy. It includes guidelines for office designs and protocols to make the workplace safer. Our team spoke to ER doctors, epidemiologists, architects, psychologists, sociologists, furniture and systems manufacturers, and experts in fields as wide-ranging as air filtration and elevator design. Sifting through a welter of ever-evolving information, the design team created annotated space plans for every aspect of a multi-space environment. Congratulations to all the Lemonade Award winners. Tom?
Marvelous. Thank you, Brian. Our next award is the Craft Award, and this is something we introduced last year, and we get to keep doing this. It's a great one. The Craft Award will honor an outstanding creative collaboration between the designer and craftsperson/fabricator. Entries may include, but are not limited to, such functional or decorative elements as ceilings, stairways, wall treatments, work settings, furniture, and lighting. And the winner this year is HBA for The Canopy by Hilton Cancun La Isla. Street art and the muralist movement there have quickly become one of the most expressive means through which the community has begun to shape their voice, allowing them to forge a new cultural identity as a vibrant and inspired creative class community. Culturalist travelers often seek out local artists and murals throughout the city they visit. By enlisting well-known muralists, Curio, Sleepwalk, and Marisol Destrelbeau, pardon my French, the designers created distinctive moments in the hotel that place it naturally in the path of art-seeking travelers. Partnership with these local artisans provides guests an authentic local experience before they even step foot into the hotel. Our feature muralists sit prominently above each space, layering paint colors and line work over material and textures commonly found within Mexican architectural vernacular. From the judges, the work of the local artists is well integrated into the whole project. This doesn't feel at all like a hotel chain project. The design team was Miguel Beza, Megan Day, Brooke Kopani, and Brittany Spinner. Brian?
Thanks, Tom. Next up is the long view. These are projects that design with the future in mind and an emphasis on timeless design and minimal environmental impact. And the winner this year is a tie. The judges decided to honor works that recognized either what we can do to save our environment, but also what we can do to save and improve the lives of those in our communities. The judges wanted to stress that there is still so much more that we can do and must do in both categories. Certifications and awards are just the beginning. The winners are HOK for AstraZeneca, South San Francisco. Reflecting AstraZeneca's commitment to become energy, carbon, and water neutral by 2025, the South San Francisco site incorporates sustainable design strategies that minimize the facility's environmental impact while enhancing user wellness. The majority of the lab equipment was brought over from previous facilities to maximize the usable life of the equipment and reduce landfill waste from the overall relocation effort. Space is further optimized by modular design and the promotion of activity-based working through open seating and collaborative spaces. To reduce the facility's energy, water, and waste footprint, the project features energy-efficient building systems, equipment and appliances, optimized lighting design with daylight controls and occupancy sensors, and water-efficient fixtures. Responsible material sourcing and construction waste management led to the use of recycled content and low-emitting materials, and the diversion of 78% of waste from landfills. Furthermore, 50% of the facility's energy is derived from renewable utility sourcing, with the option to purchase additional renewable energy credit to achieve net zero energy. The project achieved LEED Platinum certification for commercial interiors in version 2009. The design team for HOK includes Timothy O'Connell, principal, Daniel Hero, interior designer, Lauren Lair, interior designer, Wayne Nichols, project manager, James Addison, job captain, Thomas Kikowski, lighting designer, Emily Folks, lab planner, Jim Dussard, branding and graphic design, and Aaron Izell, sustainable design specialist. The other recipient of the Longview Award this year is Gensler and Revel for Positive Resource Center. The integration of the three social service agencies, the AIDS Emergency Fund, Positive Resource Center, and Baker Places, into PRC created a more focused and impactful organization, a change initiated and supported by the late Mayor Ed Lee. By co-locating these services within the heart of the neighborhoods they serve, this project has a direct impact on the resilience and sustainability of the community. To lift those in need, you must first meet them where they are, which is the empathetic care PRC's employees bring to Soma, the Tenderloin, and neighboring communities that they serve. PRC staff previously sat in a converted storage closet or interior meeting room without windows or air conditioning. Now they work alongside each other in an open office with operable windows and supporting HVAC. This project repurposed a forgotten warehouse building and immediately breathed new life into the surrounding streetscape. The colorful exterior echoes the optimism of a resilient community under one roof, building a bridge to betterment along the continuum of care. The design team for Gensler consists of Colin Burry, principal in charge and design director, Bert DiViterbo, Jr., project manager, Kate Cochran, designer, Tom Horton, EGD design director, Cooper McKenna, graphic designer, Jane Grethal, lead strategist, and Carlos Higgins, strategist. The design team for Revel included Gary Nichols, principal, and Kevin Likens, project architect. Congratulations to both the award winners. Tom?
Great project. Great people doing great work that we need right now. Next category, live, or live, as we might say these days. Live. This is any place we call home. Homes, condominiums, townhouses, apartments, mobile homes. I'm still holding out for a mobile home at some time in the future. Or houseboats, full or partial renovations acceptable. The finalists were CCS Architecture for Seacliff Residence, Adlin Darling for High Desert Retreat, Fougeron Architecture for Translucence House, and Adlin Darling for The Art House. And the honor award goes to Aylin Darling for High Desert Retreat. The home performs a simple framing device to observe the surrounding terrain. The structure's geometry is exceedingly quiet and crisp, contrasting the desert's organic forms, and low to the ground to minimize its presence. The home's diagram is a triptych of elements: a floating roof plane, a collection of wooden volumes, and 2 concrete anchor walls. The entry sequence is articulated by the orientation and form of 2 concrete walls juxtaposed to create a void that guides the occupant to the glazed entry. The materials quietly contrast the desert landscape. The blackened wood siding is pine wood that is accentuated, burnt, wire brushed, stained, and sealed, creating a textured finish that is bug and rot resistant. The interior is a collage of concrete, wood, stone, and steel that maximizes durability while creating a soulful nesting quality. And this is from the judges. This project won a perfect score from all judges, and that almost never happens. But in this case, it completely wowed them, which is understandable looking at this project. That rarely happens. They loved the home's rich palette and found the furniture selection spot on. There wasn't a wrong step anywhere. The team: Joshua Aylin, partner in charge; Adam Rouse, project architect; Ben Damron, project team; Sarah Kia, project team; and Jeff Lebrowski, project team. Beautiful project. Ryan?
Thanks, Tom. That is a beautiful, beautiful project. Next up, the category is serve. Places where we meet. Public spaces, libraries, schools, non-office governmental, transportation centers, places of worship, museums. The finalists in this category were Aiden Darling for Geneva Car Barn and Powerhouse, SOM for the Marin Food Bank, Studios for Watt Plaza Lobby and Extension, and Gensler for 88 Kearney. And the honor award goes to Gensler for 88 Kearney. 88 Kearney is a renovated office building lobby transformed by a digital interactive experience. The original space was 120 feet long, oddly proportioned, and a corridor that felt much like an afterthought, though it was the building's primary entrance. It was essential to the client to attract tenants in the active tech leasing market, but not alienate more corporate tenants who traditionally occupied the building. The solution was to turn its weakness into its strength and make the journey through the lobby a delightful, energizing, and constantly new experience. The approach was to turn the corridor into a digital art gallery, which revealed itself only when viewed axially and walking directly through the lobby. The team designed and produced a library of bespoke digital content programmed to change and respond to library traffic with motion-sensitive technology. The real dynamic content maintains relevancy day to day, celebrating Bay Area culture, including events and holidays, natural scenery that shifts with the changing seasons and time of day, and ambient moments that showcase artistic process. Although much of the content is digitally generated, commissioned photography and time-lapse footage were also used to complete the multitude of unique thematic scenes. The designer's goal was that tenants and their guests would never experience the same walk twice. Comments from the judges include a really strong project. The finishes are timeless, but brings it into this century with video screens. This speaks to those who will be the building's next generation of tenants. The design team for Gensler included Duck Zucker, project leader; Greg Gallimore, digital experience concept lead, project oversight; Amy Campbell, architectural design director; Dan Baroni, architectural project manager; David Bradshaw, architectural project architect; Sarah Frankel, digital experience production manager; Jesus Garcia Galvez, lead technologist, hardware systems design. Kaya Ono, digital experience, media development, and art direction. Jacob Stevens, generative software developer. And Graham Asher, reactive sensor system developer. Congratulations on a fantastic project. Tom?
Next category is heal. Very important thing for us all to keep in mind as we've gone through the last year and a half. This is where we flourish. Hospitals, medical facilities, clinics, assisted living, laboratories, and as I said last year, in all of those facilities are the true heroes of our generation and of the time that we've lived through. So all of them are winners. The finalists were Perkins Eastman and IA for the Marin Health Medical Center, Oak Pavilion, Gensler and Revel for the Positive Resource Center, HOK for AstraZeneca, South San Francisco site, and HOK for Project Unity. And we had another tie. Seems like our judges like to go both ways here. First up is HOK for AstraZeneca, South San Francisco site. Embracing science on display as the overarching theme, the workplace challenges laboratory design conventions, maximizing transparency and promoting activity-based work. The ample use of glass throughout the interior improves the quality of workspace, though through enhanced visual connectivity, daylighting, and openness. Furthermore, teaming spaces and plug-and-play arrangements within the laboratories encourage interaction between scientists, giving them the flexibility to adopt new equipment and processes. The workplace conveys AstraZeneca's values while being grounded in its local Silicon Valley tech culture through regionally inspired design elements, natural elements, and an eclectic mix of traditionalist and space-age furnishings. Features and finishes more often found in hospitality environments were used throughout the facility, resulting in a workplace with a tech startup coffee house feel. Graphic details of the Bay Area's natural features establish the workplace's regional identity and enhance occupant well-being. From the judges, looks like an engaging environment for the employees. Love the integrated furnishings and finishes and the use of color. The active design made us see how we can easily move into this space. The design team was Timothy O'Connell, principal, Daniel Harriott, interior designer, Lauren Lair, interior designer, Wayne Nichols, project manager, James Addison, job captain, Thomas Kakowski, lighting designer, Emily Folks, lab planner, Jim Dussard, branding and graphic design, and Erin Ezel for sustainable design specialist. And the second winner was Perkins Eastman and IA for Marin Health Medical Center, Oak Pavilion. Taking cues from its diverse regional ecosystem, the Oak Pavilion takes advantage of its picturesque hillside location in southern Marin County to create an indoor-outdoor environment where patients heal in nature. The result is a design that provides access to nature on all sides of the new building without sacrificing medical efficiency. The patient rooms, waiting areas, and lounges are organized around exterior gardens, views of Mount Tamalpais, the Corte Madera Creek wetlands, and the adjacent 27-acre Hal Brown Park to maximize the patient and staff experience. The design also ensures that patients, their families, and the staff have views to the exterior from any public corridor within the building. The ability to connect to the outside, no matter where you are in the building, orients users and provides a calming effect not found in typical hospitals. From the judges, they love the biophilia aspect of the design. The overall effect is both functional and yet calming. Design team. In this case, there was only one person mentioned, and that's Jason Haim of Perkins Eastman, the principal in charge. He must be a very, very talented guy to be able to do all of the things that it takes to make a project. But I'm sure that there were also other people involved with it as well, including people from IA. They just weren't in the application, as it were. So. Brian, next category.
Thanks, Tom. Next up is play. These are spaces where we entertain ourselves. Hotels, restaurants, theaters, spas, casinos, stores, showrooms, malls, tasting rooms, sports arena. It runs the whole gamut. The finalists in this category are EHDD for the Lisa and Douglas Goldman Tennis Center, HBA for the Canopy by Hilton Cancun La Isla, Gensler for Lucid Motors, and EDG for the Chaminade Resort and Spa. And the honor award goes to Gensler for Lucid Motors. By crafting an immersive retail experience that allows buyers to feel the finishes, learn about its innovations, and virtually drive the vehicle, they aim to revolutionize the car buying journey. To achieve this ambition, the design sought to synergize the dialogue between this experience and the brand identity. The two-story lobby, previously parceled into a sequence of cloistered spaces by heavy interior partitions, was stripped to its essential elements, creating a bright and open entry. The existing stairs were clad in black steel, creating a circulation ribbon against the vertical slats. In contrast, black Yagasugi cladding at the opposite wall serves as the backdrop for Lucid's branding elements. The vehicles are the centerpiece of the space, situated on a black terrazzo pad under a seamless, illuminated stretch fabric ceiling. But there's also a visual and experiential narrative around the car that's as important in conveying the brand's ethos. Graphic panels express Lucid's design drivers while dividing the showroom from the client hospitality space. A 16-foot by 9-foot mosaic LED display is flanked by integral glass vitrines displaying Lucid's innovation, drivetrain, and engine. At the end of the visitor journey is the color, materials, and finishes platform, dressed in white oak and bounded at two sides by carbon steel tension rods, which support a band of LED panels. The elevated space provides a sophisticated yet casual place for potential customers to interact with the finishes and take a virtual test drive. Comments from the judges included, "The experience is of a brand and not just a car. This is reflected in the innovation of the product and the innovation of the space." The design team included Katie Buchanan, Design Director, Scott Vitarelli, Design Manager, Luda Ho, Architect, and Carolyn Duncan, Designer. Tom?
Makes me want to buy a car, just looking at it. Next up is Work Small. Work Small Awards. These are for corporate workspaces, workplace environments under 20,000 usable square feet. The finalists, Valerio DeWalt Train for the YouTube lobby, Rap Studio, The Schoolhouse, Brereton Architects, Viva, and Fenny and Mel for 8VC. And the honor award goes to Fenny and Mel for 8VC. Venture capitalist firm 8VC invests in archaic, inefficient institutions, think government and healthcare, and brings them into the 21st century through technological innovation. Not surprisingly, 8VC fell for Pier 5, a surviving 1916 structure within a historic district on San Francisco's waterfront. The designers re-envisioned the space as a physical manifestation of 8VC's mission, transforming inefficient structures into a new existence. We could use more of that these days. Removing massive, ill-placed shear walls exposed the entire floor plate to natural light and stunning water views. The resulting magnificent and innovative welcoming feeling throughout the space is more akin to a jewel box hotel with a lively multi-use bar lounge replacing the expected concept of a reception desk. Nice way to enter space. Because 8VC enjoys provocative thinking, the space features cozy vintage-style custom furniture alongside contemporary ergonomic furnishings and urban art of today. Original wood beams and exposed railroad track celebrate the past. Runners made from vintage Iranian rugs provide warmth to the original staircase that was stripped down to its more modern essence. The glass front replaced a solid garage door on the highly trafficked Embarcadero, inviting the world to see inside. Private glass-enclosed offices adorn the top floor. A custom 3-story light fixture at the center of the main stair ties all 3 floors together visually. From the judges, nice job in unifying the old with the contemporary. This shows an interesting way to tie in the 2 levels, all very well layered. And the design team was Doug Mell, principal and project manager. Mina Azarnush was the interior designer. Omid Arvin, the architect. Mike Ogrink was the team member. Lovely.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Tom. Okay, next up, work medium. These are corporate workplace environments that are over 20,000 usable square feet and under 75,000 usable square feet. The finalists in this category are Fenny and Mel for Confidential Tech, Revel for Informatica, Revel again for Alternative Technology Client, and Plow for Fair Headquarters. And the honor award goes to Revel for Alternative Technology Client. Leaving their San Francisco roots for Austin Boots. To deliver a project that would attract the workforce for this alternative technology client moving from San Francisco to Austin, we created a cohesive look that articulates their company ethos and aligns with their and their products' minimalist aesthetic. Though the office shares a design vocabulary we had established for the client's offices around the world, it remains distinctly Austin. Honest architectural materials, steel, wood, and concrete, in unison with warm tones and leather furnishings, benches resembling saddles, ceramic tile referencing the city's ubiquitous glazed bricks, and burnt orange finishes matching the University of Texas at Austin's signature color, the design becomes a multi-layered space that is unmistakably Austin without having to put a graphic of a local landmark on the wall. As a building originally designed for multiple tenants, our first task was to repurpose it for a single occupant. The ground floor, originally slated for retail, became a flex break room that easily adjusts for all hands meetings and is flanked by a cafe, bar, and game room. A central atrium connecting the second and third floors, originally sealed off with aluminum mullions and glass, was reworked to become an open and airy gathering spot flooded with natural light at the heart of the building, and now features a custom blackened steel planter that climbs the concrete wall. This is the third project that Revel has done for this client. The previous 2 were also award winners. Comments from the judges included, nice choice of furnishings. Details like the slanted wall is a great counterpoint to the dramatic architecture, and the space feels large yet intimate. The design team includes Scott Clement, principal in charge, Tom Tessier, design director, Fagay Kuhustani, lead project designer, Todd Levine, senior job captain, Claudette Bleihenberg, senior project architect, Riley Bunn, project architect, Zara Gahanimi, project designer, Marjan Safdari, project designer, Alade Gurman, designer, Defar Hadidinen, job captain, and Jeffrey Veloso, designer. Tom?
Thank you. Talk about a great client design firm collaboration and relationship. That's always so wonderful when you see not just multiple projects, but multiple wins with the same client in different locations. So kudos to that. Next, work large or go home. Work large awards, corporate workplaces, environment projects, over 75,000 usable square feet. The finalists, RMW for Intuitive Surgical, HGA for Dropbox Headquarters, ASD Sky for Autodesk, and ASD Sky for Confidential Technology Company, Oakland. And the winner is HGA for Dropbox Headquarters. Designing for the senses. When approaching Dropbox's new headquarters, they set aspirational goals, seeking a workplace that would unleash creative energy for a diverse workforce and foster connection, curiosity, and creativity. This 736,000 square foot headquarters revolves around aspirational goals with a sensory-inspired design that allows for flex interior spaces as their businesses evolves, continuously imagining and reimagining how they do business and how they support a productive, healthy work style. The light-filled open floor plan and rooftop gardens frame panoramic views of the cityscape and the bay. Floors are subdivided into a series of flexible neighborhoods featuring workspaces, conference rooms, single occupancy workrooms, and open meeting areas and clustered conversational seating. Flexible wall systems and movable furniture allows a variety of desk and seating configurations for heads-down work, collaboration, group meetings, or one-on-one dialogue. From the judges, loved how it offered alternate space options for people to work. We love that beautiful door. The design team, Meredith Hayes Gordon, principal in charge, Ian Ford, project manager, Kim Ramos, project manager, Nat Madsen, design architect, Clay Shortall, design architect, John Cook, project architect, Kate Levine, project architect, Bill Peters, project architect, and Mary and Sarah, senior interior design. Ryan, we're down to the big one.
We're talking about the Best of Show Award, right, Tom?
Oh, yes, exactly.
Good. Just wanted to clarify that. So it's time for the big one, as Tom says, the Best of Show Award. This is that one project chosen by the jury to exemplify the best overall design of all the entries. And of course, wouldn't you know it, this year, the Best of Show is a tie. The judges had a tough time with this one, but they saw two projects that in their estimation were not only spectacular, but they felt reflected both great design and changes that we have seen over the last year in terms of our relationship to our physical spaces. So we know now the importance of quality design in both the workplace and the home in our daily lives, and these awards reflect that. For great design in the workplace, a Best of Show Honor Award goes to Revel for Alternative Technology Client. These comments now are from the client's perspective. Our Austin office is an incredible mix of energy and focus. There are well-defined areas to collaborate, celebrate, and come together as a team. All of that is creatively joined together with exceptional areas dedicated to focus, creation, and expansion, and all of it is beautifully designed to boot. We made a major strategic choice in moving our workforce to Austin and assuring them that their workplace was exceptional, adding an additional layer for the entire team. Luckily, the design team made this vision a reality, and their contributions are part of the foundation that makes our growth possible. Great comments from a client. That's fantastic. And as an example of the epitome of what great home design can be, we give a Best of Show Honor Award to Aidan Darling for the High Desert Retreat. Comments also from the client. Considering what must have been the many thousands of decisions big and small, that we had to make, that we would not change anything with the house, not a material, a fixture, not one design choice, feels like a miracle. In reality, it comes from being in sync aesthetically with the architects who are at the top of their game, who excel at communication and open-minded discussions from us, their clients, who are now their friends. Wow. That's what you want to hear, right? I mean, the awards are great, but at the end, you've impacted people's lives in a positive way. That's why we do what we do, right, Tom?
Absolutely, that's what it's all about. And I love the fact that that the judges, because they're the ones who rule the judging, decided to look at two different aspects of design, both in terms of the corporate design and residential, and honor both of those. And both of them were spectacular projects. You may have noticed that one award that you didn't hear that you may have been expecting was the People's Choice Award. Brian and I have an ongoing conversation about technology, and as he very well noted, we couldn't imagine going through the last year and a half without technology. It would have made what we do impossible. It would have froze everything, and that's the best use of technology for our lives. Unfortunately, some people also use it for reasons that, let's say, are not for the best for all people. The People's Choice Award is a chance for our whole community to vote, with each of them their single vote, to pick what they felt, they just liked it. Something about it sung for them. Let's just say that some over-enthusiastic members of our community decided to use bots to game the system to try to make certain projects win awards and votes that just weren't there. We had some that really ran into thousands and thousands, more than probably the population of San Francisco had. And as a result, it kind of polluted the whole award, and we won't be giving it out this year, sadly, which is unfortunate. But such is the modern world we live in, where sometimes people think that winning is really what it's all about, which we know is not truly the case. Anyway, we go forward. Speaking of technology, last year we lost a major talent in the world of design in general, August de los Reyes, who was a designer in the tech field, who spoke to us at the IIDA in the past. He was a beautiful example of a beautiful man. He overcame what would, for many people, would be the tragedy of being a paraplegic to become an amazing leader in his field. To lose him to COVID was very, very, very sad and quite a loss. Two of his very good friends, I asked them to say a couple words about him, and these two women in themselves are design royalty. Lisa Demetrius, who is the granddaughter of Charles Eames, and the woman I call the Empress of Color, Laura Guido Clark. And this is what they wrote about their very good friend, August. August believed many good designs began as love stories. Basking in his light, these are lessons learned from August. Come with love, be inclusive, and good design empowers. We ask that you take from his life's work to heart and begin by creating your love story. And that's a lovely way to end things. And I think that that statement says as much about Laura and Lisa as it does about August. So I think on that note, that's a good note for us to remember to keep going forward, regardless of the things that might have set us back. Brian, what thoughts might you have at this point?
I don't know that you can top that message of love and inclusiveness and openness. I think that that's the big takeaway that I get from all of this craziness that we've had this year.
Yes.
And what a perfect note for us to wrap up this honor awards with, don't you think?
I completely agree. And I thought last year, when I said I'll see you at the Fox next year, that it would happen, and it didn't. But I feel very strongly that we're all going to be at the Fox. If we have to all show up in hazmat suits, we're going to be there, and we're going to drink cocktails or do whatever we have to do to have a good time, because our community is just too damn good not to get together and have a good time. Thank you all. Thank you all the people who entered. As always, I could not really do this without Mr. Brian Graham, the ever-talented Mr. Brian Graham, and all the people on the committee and everybody who helped us out. It was just, as always, a true labor of love. So, see y'all next year. Thank you.
Bye, everybody. And what I always like to say at the end of the show is, the bar is open.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, everyone. That is the end of our show for tonight. I will see you at the Fox next year. Take care.
Can I do the introduction one more time? Because, different mindsets, like, hey, here is a hot babe, Yoko Ishihara.
Oh, you want to hear me talk? Well, that's the way I talk, and that's my voice. Because I've got you under my skin.
Okay, good. All right, we'll do it one more time. Okay, ready? Put me in a tux, babe. All I gotta need is a chilled martini.
So when we're doing this, if we're making mistakes, let it go, because that's part of the naturalness of it all. Okay. I can't see myself anymore. I'm now floating in space because I'm just a voice. When did I click what? And I'll say it. And
and